I have been with him.
The lawyers got more than her and him. God damn.
Like every single step of the way. And Nick did say that like it's okay to do that. So let's just get into it. Maybe I take this off because it's kind of... Yo guys, it's my birthday. I will say before this video, like I'm glad that it finally happened because it's something that he's been talking about a lot, and it's kind of surreal to know that, you know, it's finally over after a year and a half. As a lot of you guys know, he's been like the target of a lot of just false narratives that have been spreading online, and he hasn't said anything about it until now. So this whole time, it's just people bullying him, just lying about him, and he just took it. He was just waiting until everything was said and done to just, you know, in this video, he is just reading off of the document. Nothing else to be said about it. It's not opinion based, it's all facts. I will say that there is a lot more that he could have said, but I think the video was very gracious, and yeah,
the video was perfect in whatever it needed to be. It was perfect. He didn't need to say any more than he did. He's good. He knows that too.
Okay, it's not playing.
He knows that.
Also, I think he did a great job reading. There were a lot of cuts in between to remove like the pauses from reading. He's not the best at reading.
Had to get it right.
Let's get into it.
Let's talk about the divorce. So I've been away for quite a while. Let me tell you why. At this point, the case is over. I've been trying to get this divorce settled. It was a lot longer process than I thought, and I haven't talked about it in any official way up until this point. There's two different courts. There's the court of public opinion, that is Reddit, Twitter, all those great and wonderful places.
There are some people who were saying like, why make a video? You know, this is private, but that's not true. This is not private because there are many accounts and many people who have been speaking.
If there's narratives, there's no way you cannot. No. If there's crazy ass narratives like this and make a perfectly legible video, not cursing, not really calling anybody any names, just simply explaining, here's the papers, this is what happened, we're finally done. You can kill all those narratives. This needed to be done. I think this needed to be done, especially for his sake, somebody that's active on social media streaming like him.
Speaking about the divorce as if they know what's going on and making their own opinions about it. And his job is directly tied into his reputation. So I feel like it's within his right to talk about it and speak for himself because he is the best person to talk about it as one of the parties involved.
So I want to do my best to provide an accurate timeline of what happened. The divorce was filed by Malena in January of 2025. We had split up the previous year. It was amicable. We tweeted about it on Twitter. Everyone saw that. And the divorce ended up being officially filed by her in, like I said, January.
I met him after they broke up, like months after they broke up. So, yeah.
I sent Malena a 50-50 offer down the middle in April of that year. She did not accept it. I did not know what she wanted out of this divorce until mediation, which was actually in November. So, bear with me now. We are going to go into some legal documents. Malena Midtoy Palom's First Amendment disposition of issues. So this
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Nick didn't want this to become like a whole trial because if both parties agree, then it could just be easy. And he did try to just talk about it, but he didn't really receive any.
Could say $400,000
response, so it had to be coursed through the lawyers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So the first thing that she wanted was to grant the divorce between the parties on the grounds of insupportability. In Texas, a divorce can be granted on the grounds of insupportability, which is the state's no-fault divorce ground.
Meanwhile, I do have to add, I did say something about, you know, a lot of men paying the brunt of the, you know, for the divorce lawyer fees and all that type of stuff. In this case, $400,000, you know, out of both their pockets. I don't know who paid the brunt of that payment. Like who paid, you know, probably half, 50-50. I don't know.
The Texas Family Code defines insupportability as a conflict or discord of personalities between the spouses that destroys legitimate ends of the marriage relationship and prevents any reasonable expectation of reconciliation. In practical terms, it means neither spouse has to prove wrongdoing. No evidence of adultery, cruelty, abandonment, or other fault is required. The court only needs to find that the marriage has become unworkable and that reconciliation is not reasonably expected. So you can file divorce on other grounds, and I'll explain what those are. Cruelty, you can file for adultery, which didn't happen, conviction of a felony, abandonment, living apart, etc. She filed on the grounds of insupportability. Next, Award Milena Midtoy-Palm a disproportionate shares of the party's estate for the following reasons.
Yeah, but TLDR about that, it already dispels a lot of the rumors that are out there about him, because like that was the grounds that she filed it under. Yeah.
Including but not limited to. So she wanted more than 50-50. Respondents' economic and financial abuse of the petitioner. Respondents' failure to permit access to the party's community property.
Yeah, so this was like a number one thing, like the word financial abuse that was spread everywhere, but it got proven in court with all the evidence that that did not happen.
Order Milena Midtoy-Palm's waste claim for Nicholas Michael Palm's excessive expenditures. That was over $100,000 they had claimed against me. The next thing
The bag.
she wanted, and this is one of the reasons why we had to go to trial, order Milena Midtoy-Palm's request for post-divorce maintenance for a period of 5 years.
At first, when I first read this down here, I thought it said $85,000 a month. I'm like, hold the fuck up. Then I was like, oh, that's a dollar sign. I'm reading a little bit too fast, skimming over things.
So she wanted me to pay her $5,000 a month for 5 years. We don't even have kids. Next, and this was the biggest one, the most important one. I mentioned earlier.
And a lot of people are looking at that 10 years together, and then you got married and still had no kids. Well, then people start to look at this relationship and then start losing faith in kids and marriage again.
Earlier that Milena wanted a disproportionate share of the estate. She wanted a 60-40 split of the entire estate. Her 60% be all cash and my 40% be heavily weighted in my OTK shares. She wanted about 90% of the cash reserves, plus she wanted me to pay her this post-divorce maintenance, and my 40% would be essentially all in my OTK shares, which no one really knows what those are worth. This was the biggest point of contention in the trial for me.
Yeah, so that's the major cause of stress that Nick had, because there was a chance, this was a 1.5 year long trial, there was a chance that he would have nothing but his shares, which are imaginary, you know, like you don't know how much that will be. So he was very, very, very stressed about that. And I think for those of you who watched through it, it was kind of obvious that he was, but he couldn't really like he waited until the end to talk about everything.
I don't think anyone would have accepted the offer that was presented in front of them. Essentially, it would drain me to 10% cash reserves, be in debt a whole bunch of money. So I would put a lot of trust in those OTK shares being worth something someday. Actually, anyone involved with me whatsoever could not talk about this divorce.
Yeah, so that wasn't like another main issue as well. The other party wanted Nick not to talk about it at all, but only Nick in that specification. I am glad that that wasn't granted as well, because he gets to defend himself against all of the lies that are being spread, because like it's easy to watch this, you know, and like view these streamers kind of like characters in a TV show, you know, but this is not a TV show. This is real life. Even reality shows are scripted to an extent, but this is legit real life. These are real relationships that happened, and it's just so heartbreaking and disappointing to see like all of the lies that are being spread. So I'm glad at least he's able.
I was about to say, this isn't heartbreaking at all. This is just I think this is an accomplishment that you had the experience of marriage. You had the experience of being with somebody for 10 years. This is just an experience. This is a green check mark in my book. I always see this as a green. Now, sometimes the feelings, relationship, everything fell apart. Okay, cool. Some people move on quick. Some feelings come back up later. Sometimes things might not ever get reconciled till years later. They'll be like, oh, we never solved this problem in our relationship. I don't necessarily hate you. This is what happened. I'm sorry, but I apologize. Some people never do. Some people do. All right. You can say that part. But as far as the marriage and everything falling apart in a divorce, I'm like, all right, this can be, you know, little sprinkles of heartbreak. In certain situations, it could be a big heartbreak. But for me and what I'm saying in his case right now, I think this is a green check mark. You've had that experience. You've made it to marriage. You've made it through 10 years. I think, you know, this is more armor for you to push on through life. And you already got somebody new right here. So, hey.
To say his truth and talk about it. The whole situation is just so sad that it had to end up this way.
Of course. Spoiler, that
it seems it ain't so sad that it ended up this way. It can win in his favor. Yes. You know what I mean? So
did not get granted because obviously we're talking about it now. I'll explain why that didn't get granted, because essentially that's an infringement on my First Amendment right to the Constitution.
Compared to other people's wild ass results in divorce court, this is wonderful. This ain't sad.
Of the United States of America, which is freedom of speech. She wanted a 60-40 split. Because of her reasons listed, she wanted me to pay her $5,000 a month for 5 years. She wanted the majority of my part of the split to be locked up in my OTK shares. She wanted me not to be able to talk about the case whatsoever. She wanted the things about taxes. She also wanted me to pay her lawyer fees. So
That's why it really, if they had agreed on everything, like it didn't have to last this long. And like I've been basically like next to Nick like throughout a lot of it. And this court case kept being pushed back. It was supposed to technically end in December. What would happen is one side would make a claim and then the other side would have to deny it or come up with like evidence or something to like refute it. So it would just keep going and keep
And
going
every
and
time
keep going.
these cases, every time you look at these divorces, right, it makes you relook at the whole marriage. Every single time, this is what you hear. Because apparently every single divorce, 100% of marriages, everybody's lying. Or maybe 90. That 10% is a bold 10%. And what I mean by everybody's lying is because every time you hear about divorce cases, now she wants this, now she wants that, now she wants this. I never thought she would do this. I never thought he would do this. I never thought they would do. They always turn into the person that they said they were never going to be. Every time I've heard, even a little bit of it. She said she would never take money. Now she want $5. Yeah, what? She said she would never try to take more than blah, blah. I said we were always going to split it down to half. And now she want the whole goddamn property. She want 80% of the estate. Like, it always ends up, they always end up becoming, men or women, they always end up becoming the person they lied to you about. That they said, I would never do this. If we get a divorce, it would just go this way. If we get in an argument, it would go this way. If we ever break up, it would just go this way. I'm not that type of person. Sometimes they say true to that, but every single time a divorce takes extra long, it's about them becoming the person that they said they would never be. They're always lying. Everybody's lying. So this is what it turns out to be.
Going to the point where like the funds were diminished so much because Nick was not streaming throughout this. Like who knows, maybe if he did stream, like there would be funds to continue it on somehow. Yeah, it was just a lot of stress, physically, emotionally, financially. I'm just glad it's over. Like yeah, let's just keep
what
watching.
we have here is the court's ruling. This is what everyone's been waiting for. So let's just go ahead and get right into it.
So
Dear
this is-
counsel, from
So that was her side and his side, and this is the ruling based off of this judge. And about this judge, I will say she was a woman, because every time there would be a hearing, there would be randomly assigned a judge. And during one of them, I think in December, like she got the case. She requested to take it on. I think she was like a family divorce judge. I'm not sure the exact term for it. Because she noticed that it was like dragging on. Even in the very final hearing.
Here's what probably also annoyed the judge. Like, fam, how y'all letting it drag on this long? Y'all ain't got no fucking kids. It does play. Y'all ain't got no kids. What's y'all dragging on for? Man, get this over with. Y'all ain't got no goddamn children. She asked for all that. Man, hey, sign it here. Take him and all that. The judge probably looked at all the paperwork, went over everything, and then got sick of this shit. Just like, man, get this shit over with. Get this out my face. Hurry up.
Nick said that she said that this has to be the final one. Like there will be no more new things brought up, because after this ruling, the other side did try to argue against the final ruling, but the judge herself said it sounds like you just don't like the ruling.
Yeah,
and
like,
the ruling was final, and both sides have signed, and so this is it.
court case lasted well over a year. It cost over $400,000 in lawyer fees, expert fees.
your camera messed up?
And in my opinion,
Your OBS messed up? What happened?
most of it was unnecessary. But I had to go.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. It was very unnecessary because, the ruling was just a bad time to pause. I'm sorry, Nick. Deal with it. All that just to end up with what it should have been initially. And it was just a lot of stress, I'm sure, on both their parts. Like, I've never met her. And I do feel bad thinking about it because, Like, I met Nick after they broke up. But at the same time, like, sometimes I get recommended their old videos and I'm like...
You see them together?
Oh,
because she's going through they look so cute together. Oh, my God. I want to know what happened. And then you start to feel a certain type of way. Like, oh, I'm mad that they broke up. Like, well, you're with me now. Then I feel like I'm the cause, but I met you like 3-4 months after we broke up. Like, you know what I mean? that kind of goes in another factor. You ever met a girl's ex? Let's say a girl that you dated before, or even let's say if you marry somebody and you met one of like her ex-husband or something like that, right? Let's say you don't even know that this person is their ex-husband, or you do know. Let's say the breakup wasn't bad. There's no beef, no bad blood or whatever. Let's say you date a girl with kids, y'all have kids, and you met the father of her kids. You meet a significant other from her past as a guy. I'm talking as a guy, not a girl. You start hanging out. All of a sudden, y'all know some of the same people. Y'all drinking. Woo. Y'all chatting it up. And y'all like, you get home. You're like, wait a minute. You know, thinking like her ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, or whatever, baby daddy. You know, this person actually kind of. You ever met them and then they actually turn out to be cool as shit? That happens. You're like, yeah, I met her ex-boyfriend. I mean, she was saying all this stuff about him, but he seemed kind of cool with me. He seemed cool with shit. I don't know. You're like one of the guys. I mean,
I don't know, like it's kind of weird, but I'm sad that
it's her girls thing kicking in. Her girls radar kicked in. That's what it is.
Turned out this way because it didn't have to. Like they could literally be speaking. You know, they have to split the Pokemon cards. Imagine if that's on stream and then they go one by one, like who takes which card. You know, they could have been.
Well, hey, he wanted to talk about it. She wanted to take it to the lawyer. It's always the ladies who want to take it the lawyer way. Like I said earlier, because they want they want the lawyer to take care of everything because most of the time stuff goes in their favor and they think it will because of the lawyer.
Friends in an ideal world, but maybe I'm too naive to think about things like that. Like
try to get $100K out of them, and guess who got the $100K? More than that, the lawyers.
I've never been married. I've never been through like a 10-year relationship like that. So like I shouldn't be talking about this, but like it just makes me sad. The whole thing makes me sad. And I really do wish her the best. I think, you know, like the court case is final. I think, yeah, it's a good place to close the chapter. Hopefully they can be on like speaking terms, at least like good terms. But I mean, that's not up to me. Like that's between them.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I
It'll
think
be fine.
it's the end of the chapter and a start of a new one. And I saw this before I watched the video, and there are other people saying, why even talk about this? And as I said earlier, like his job is tied into his reputation, and there have been so many lies spread about him throughout this 1.5-year ordeal. And it's within his right to just talk about it and refute it and say his side. And it's literally not even his side. It's literally the court's side. He's just reading off of the documents. And there are so many other things he could have said that he didn't. And I will leave it up to him whether he wants to speak about it or not. I will not be saying those things. I know I leak stuff, but I'm not leaking that. But I'm just, maybe I changed this freaking thumbnail. There, that's better. Very proud of him for, you know, like being so strong throughout this. Because me, like sometimes I see a bad comment and I'm like, so emotional, but him, like he gets bombarded with so many, like thousands, and he's so cool, you know. And then I complain that I'm hungry and he's like so nice to me. Like I don't know, he's so nice to me. He's so strong emotionally. I think he talks about this at the end, like when he got the final ruling, he broke down, like he was sobbing. We were in his stream room. I was on the other computer. I was like, I don't know, online shopping or whatever, and he gets this call from his lawyer saying it's over, we did it. And then he goes through like how all of the claims were denied, and Nick just sobbing, and I was sobbing as well.
You see how rare it is for it to go in the guy's favor to the point that he just start crying like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's like he won the gold medal at the Olympics.
It's like it's, you know, all the uncertainty of what was gonna happen was like, it was a lot. There was a lot. And Nick has been like so locked in, going to the gym because he was like emotional eating, and so was I with him.
And then earlier she was just saying it's sad that it had to end up this way. Yeah, you're crying tears of joy. It ain't sad. This is wonderful. This is how great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's locked in to get back to work, get back to streaming, and he has a lot of fun plans ahead.
Ain't nothing sad to me.
I will not leak those. You just have to watch and find out. But he will be posting a video for his return, announcing when that will be exactly. And yeah, let's finish this video.
Necessary, but I had to go. I had no choice. Speaking for me emotionally, this whole thing has been quite stressful. There's been so many things said about me that just aren't true. It was somewhat exhausting. And once I got this ruling, I literally broke down and cried. Like I was like sobbing tears, you know, that it was finally over. This actually happened back in January when we finally got the
I've only seen Nick cry like that 2 times, when he got the ruling and when Kevin passed away.
ruling. But, you know, lawyer stuff, it took until last month for it to actually be over. I wish Milana and her family the best. I have no ill will towards them. Hopefully things go well for them, and I'm just ready to get back to work. I want to give this another try, see if I can still do it. So that's the summary. Again, if you have any
You can. You got some support right there, right on your screen. Well, her screen.
questions, you know where to find me. Thanks for watching, and fuck you. There's only one winner when it comes to divorce court. It's the lawyers, because they're walking away with $400,000 of me and Milana's money, and they could not give 2 fucks about us.
All right. What a way to end. But
And they could not.
I mean, divorce isn't something so rare and new. You know, like, I think over half of marriages end in divorce, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I've heard that somewhere.
No, it's over half. It's over half. They don't all, divorced. What else did he put to? Not everybody's getting married and then dying together these days. No, it's way more than half. I think in the last 2 or 3 years, almost goddamn near 2 million people have gotten divorced. Most of that 2 million were over 1 million, way over 1 million now. It's most of those were initiated by women. Most of them. I think maybe like a couple 100,000 out of that 2 million were initiated by men, but most of those were initiated all by women.
Like, it's not a new thing. It just so happens that they're public figures. They were like a couple that was public for a long time. And a lot of people would see the documents and try to like come up with their theories and stuff. So that's what makes this stand out a little more.
Now, here's what happens. Here's what she isn't saying. If it depends, if you're popular on social media or whatever, you go file for divorce, you should be kind of okay if you do it behind closed door privately. And then people are going to find out, oh, they don't stream together. You don't see them in pictures together. They're not, on video together like that. Something must be going on. You can see, then people can figure out stuff from there, right? But they don't know if you file for divorce or if you're going through relationship problems. People go, oh, speculate. They might be getting divorced. They might be breaking. They might be separated. They don't know officially. What happens is if you're super duper famous, like The Rock or something, crazy ass movie star, musician, or whatever, what happens is there's people on the inside. Even TMZ has people on the inside that work in law enforcement, police departments, that work in circuit courts, in all type of anything that has to do with law, lawyers, law firms. TMZ and a bunch of other people of the press have insiders. If a famous person, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, files for divorce, somebody on the inside is going to see that and report it and probably get paid a hefty, price for that information. Oh my God, here's these paper here. Oh, this happened. Put it out to TMZ. Put it out to TMZ. Put the burner email account. For email. They're getting insider information from law firms and things and courthouses of who's filing what. They're getting information because people, their name is so out there, so valuable that it's going to ring bells. You know what I mean? Like somebody like him, if your relationship was so public I don't know how stuff was getting, like people were leaking stuff, girls were leaking things, people were going and finding things out and putting shit out. It's just like, you can keep it private to a point to where I guess he was a popular and his stuff was out there in the public enough to the point that, people were just like you can make up anything online. Like I could say something about somebody and nobody knows who I am. And just because nobody knows who I am, people are going to believe it. I am the blah, 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 blah. I was behind everything. You guys never seen. I can make up some shit right now. People will believe it for a second. Then it'll take maybe some odd days for people to figure out that I'm lying about something. You know what I mean? But yeah, famous people, the thing with them, that's another thing about people don't want to be famous because people are all up in your business that you have no idea. You could file some papers or start a new business here. People could find out, oh, there's a new LLC under this name and figure out this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? That's the thing that sucks about being a celebrity. You can't file for divorce and break up in relationships privately because there's insiders and the people that you have to, go to in order to file certain things that just hand out information like hotcakes and get paid for it, so.
At the end of the day, like, I think as time goes on, people do grow and change, especially if they, if you get into a relationship younger, like, that's not who you will be as you get older, and they were together for over 10 years. I don't want to speak for them, but if it didn't work out, then it just means that, you know, maybe they are a better fit somewhere else.
I mean, that's a whole different conversation. There's too many X factors, but just to put it simple like this, there's one aspect of what could happen. That person grows into the version of that person that you don't like. You know, people, or you can say people grow apart, and there's like 10 other things to say, but that's a whole different video. I don't think I'm gonna make that one.
But I do hope that this is the end and it can start a new beginning. I just want to say, like, thank you.
Now that hope that she's talking about, this is the end. There will be no future problems, no crazy stuff. Because even after a divorce, people will start to file restraining orders, getting harassed, people busting windows, showing up at people's house. Hopefully, her or him, hopefully nobody turns crazy and starts doing wild shit to the other side. Just leave this alone. We don't even got no kids. We shouldn't even be, no. If I see you in passing, hey, how you doing? Both acknowledge each other. No, hey, that's it. We don't got no kids. We don't got nothing. We don't really got no super duper duper beef where I'm gonna fucking swing on you and nobody spitting on people and none of that. Just like, I know this person. Yes, my ex-wife. No bad blood or nothing. You know, we got married, got divorced, didn't work out. That's it. Move on about your life. That's it. You know what I mean? So hey.
Thank you to the people who have been there, like, throughout this year and a half, who did not just blindly believe the rumors. We will remember you. Thank you. And I think it's during these times where, like, you're down that you really know, like, the people who are around to support. And also, like, if you did believe the rumors, it's okay. Hello. Yeah, it's really time to rebuild, and Nick is very excited to rebuild. Just stay in tune for his streams.
It'll be all right.
I really like the way that he talked about it in the video as well. I think it was very respectful and just sticking to the facts. And it's hard. It's hard to go through this about something that was a huge part of your life for so long and to not be emotional when talking about it. So I am very proud of him. Yeah, here's to new beginnings. And also, it's my birthday, guys.
Happy birthday.
Beginnings.
Happy birthday.
In the beginning. New
Happy
beginnings.
birthday.
Okay, I'll put this back on. Okay, we've talked about it.